Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about Verizon and its strategy and where they're heading since we are closer to the end of 2020. I know it's been a terrible year, but we are getting ready to start a new one, and it hopefully gets better for all of us. So Verizon is very interesting. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people are not fond of their current strategy with millimeter wave. You constantly see T-Mobile, Mike Sievert, Neville Ray technically bashing the technology, that it's not great in terms of range, that Verizon hardly covers any area with a more widespread millimeter wave solution. And I just wanted to speak a little on that. As you can see by this article, we work to install indoor 5G with Verizon. So what is that telling you? That's telling you they're going enterprise. So as FirstNet with AT&T shifts towards taking government agencies and contracts from Verizon, which is a fact now, we've just seen them recently take the FBI contract right from under Verizon, and I think that opens up the floodgates to other government agencies, the military overall, and the military police as well, and many, many other government agencies that are out there. So I think AT&T is getting ready to do that, and that's specifically what FirstNet was meant for. So I think that was naturally going to happen anyway in the future. So now what does Verizon do? Well, they reshift. They shift towards enterprise. They got big partnerships with Apple. They got Amazon. Now they're doing WeWork, Walmart, and then who knows what else. They could approach all big box retailer. Hey, let me put a millimeter wave solution inside of your store. Amazon fulfillment centers are going to get the millimeter wave solution indoors. So to kind of get a bit more deeper into this, what is Verizon doing? So we all know, if you're familiar, if you have been on the channel and you're familiar with the wireless industry, Verizon's LTE network at scale is the largest. That is currently what AT&T and T-Mobile are trying to catch. They're trying to gain the square miles of size that Verizon has. That is bar none, that is what everyone is trying to do. Currently, AT&T is better suited because they are getting a government subsidy reimbursement. So they have much more money to just spend, $5 billion strictly towards expanding the network, which was already larger than T-Mobile's. And T-Mobile is coming up the rear end with its Band 71, trying to catch the big two at the scalability. So early on in the LTE days, and I'll post this picture on my Instagram so you guys could check it out, T-Mobile had no low band. The AT&T and Verizon were running away with a scale, and at scale, T-Mobile was not able to compete. They just couldn't. Then they gained band 12 at 5 megahertz, which helped them expand the network, and now they got band 71, N71, and they're right there in terms of spectrum at scale, which is low band. So now, while AT&T and T-Mobile are trying to chase Verizon on scalability in terms of network size, now Verizon is scaling millimeter wave. Perhaps you could say, look, Verizon doesn't have any additional spectrum to really compete mid-band wise on 5G. So their only play right now is millimeter wave, which is fine. But they're doing it at scale. So each year that passes by until they can get C-band cleared fully, you're going to start seeing more and more millimeter wave. Enterprise, big box retailers, we're going to start seeing repeaters. We're already seeing them expand the small cell millimeter wave by 5 times. They stated that last year. They put that into play this year, and that's only going to get more and more and more advanced as we head in through 21, 22. They're going to put it everywhere. They're going to put it on macros. They're going to put it on small cells. Now, does it have limitations? Yes, it has limitations. It's not going to travel 5 miles, 4 miles. It's not going to go deep indoors, but that's what the repeaters and the indoor solutions are for. So where it makes sense, malls, airports, that's where they're likely at it. Now, as you can see already, there are some articles out there, very, very little, but AT&T is losing the millimeter wave race to Verizon. So I was confused by that. I did not know that there was a millimeter wave race. I thought it was a 5G race, but even that is a far stretch. But that's the thing. At scale right now, Verizon has the most millimeter wave out there, and that will likely remain the case. So now both AT&T and T-Mobile are trying to catch the network at scale for Verizon. And then after that, it looks like they're going to start trailing Verizon at scale on millimeter wave. So now AT&T is going to run around and try to catch Verizon on the millimeter wave rollout. And then we all know T-Mobile is way behind in that field. So they're going to eventually also have to do millimeter wave in, where it makes sense for them, indoors, arenas. And that's just something where Verizon is going to be, again, far ahead of the competition. They're just shifting their focus to what they believe will be the generational leap. So they are already far advanced at NFL stadiums, NBA arenas, NHL. They're doing it at airports. They're doing it at big box retailers, which, by the way, I got to give the credit when credit's due. AT&T is also adding millimeter wave antennas inside of Walmarts. So that's happening as well. But again, it's just not happening at the scale of Verizon's. So no one right now, other than Verizon, is really focused on scalability on millimeter wave. They're just not. So T-Mobile is focused, pushing 2.5 and looking to materialize that even bigger in 21. AT&T is kind of, like I said in my other video, doing a little of both, but not really aggressive on either one. They're still far more focused on expanding the network, which is important for them because they got the FirstNet contract and they need to meet the deadlines to get the reimbursements. So they need to continue with that. And Verizon is just really in a league of their own. They don't have to chase the network size the way the other two are. So they're more focused on, okay, we're going to scale millimeter wave. They're still doing network size enhancements. So they're still expanding. They're still adding densification where it's needed. But it is not at the top of the priority list anymore because they have already achieved the size that they're comfortable at in terms of network size. Far bigger than the big two. Mike Sievert even stated that in the UBS interview. He said, we caught Verizon in the later part of the LTE era on POPs, which is point of presence, but we never caught them on square miles, which is absolutely true. He never did. They never reached the scalability to catch Verizon. Same with AT&T. They're chasing it now. In some areas, they are outgrowing Verizon where they have network presence where no one else does. But you could make the debate and the case that wouldn't have never happened if it wasn't for FirstNet with AT&T. So that's where I think Verizon is heading. I think they already are comfortable at the network size that they are now. The other two are still trying to catch them a decade later, and they're still growing their network as well. Not at the pace they used to, but they're still doing that. So while they're prioritizing the urban and suburban markets more, and we're seeing more densification, more millimeter wave at scale, once they incorporate the C-band onto that densification, I think Verizon's network is going to get very, very, very dangerous. They have a crazy network planning. Their engineers are top of the line. They get paid top of the notch dollars. Same with everything else that Verizon does. So I do think down the line, end of 21, once that C-band clears, 2023, once the other C-band clears, their network is going to get very scary. And that's just pure network planning, more macros coming online to add densification, the small cells, the indoor solutions, and the repeaters for millimeter wave. Once you incorporate all of that, that network is going to be a powerhouse to reckon with. And at some point, the other two are going to have to do millimeter wave at the same scale because of the fact that Verizon is going to be able to brag on that type of performance that the others won't be able to replicate. N41 is not going to be able to do the performance of millimeter wave. Not happening. Even at peak speeds, you can hit a gig on N41, but you can't do 2 to 3 gigs like you can on millimeter wave. Not happening. So let me know what you think about this. This video was a little longer. I just haven't really talked about Verizon much. Verizon, again, very quiet. The silent ninja is what people call them. They just attack. They're attacking right now. Right now, what they're doing, they're planning and they're attacking. So there's, of course, a lot of money behind the company. They are still a pure wireless company, same as T-Mobile, but they are accumulating third-party partnerships for value. The network is booming right now. The network is booming. You in your area may have not seen that materialized yet. I know there are a lot of areas out there that are not getting much love right now, but in the future, it looks like Verizon's network is going to become a strong powerhouse. So let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. If you have been on the channel or you're new to the channel and you have not yet liked, share, subscribe, make sure you do so. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when I do upload content. Also follow all of the social media outlets for more updates and interactions. I do post these videos on the Twitter as well. Thanks again for watching. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.